Hi everyone, welcome to a recording of our Sunday afternoon 60-minute Hatha Yoga class. This week it's all about energy and power. We're going to be working on some chaturanga alignment and looking at the different options we can take from beginners right through to a strong advanced practice. So it's a real mixed ability class as always. We're going to have some different variations on planks and side planks to play around in. So we're going to be firing up the core and the strength in the arms. But in order to kind of find the energy and the power to do these strong poses, we're also going to be taking some hip opening postures, some forward folds, and just really finding a way to energize our body so that we can take a really strong, determined practice. As always, go at your own pace. You're going to need a strap for some of the balancing postures that we do today, and never be in any pain. Like we always say in yoga, just work at your therapeutic edge. I truly hope you enjoy this practice. Leave me a comment, let me know how you got on. Cheers, namaste. Okay, so because we're going to be doing an energising practice, we're going to take an energising pranayama. We're going to do Kapalbhati, which is our breath of fire. Kundalini practitioners will know this breathing exercise well. We'll take it seated, so sit down on the mat any way that's comfy for you. It doesn't have to be cross-legged, and you are welcome to use a block or a cushion if that helps you to sit. We're going to place our hands on our belly, with middle fingertips just gently touching. Palms are kind of resting on the sides of the rib cage or the sides of the belly. When you feel ready, you can let the eyes gently close, or if you prefer, gaze past the tip of the nose. As always, we're going to begin by connecting with our normal, spontaneous breath. We're going to witness it like we're taking a bird's eye view of our breathing. Just noticing how it is. Noticing the quality of the breath, whether it's smooth and steady, or maybe a little bit quick, maybe a little bit juddery. Perhaps it's a little shallow. Start to zoom that bird's eye view in now, by which I mean start to check in with the sensation of the breath. So feel the belly and the chest expanding as you inhale. Those middle fingertips might gently part. And as you exhale, feel the belly contracting, fingertips come back together. As you inhale now, see if you're able to let the lips close and start to breathe purely through your nostrils. As you exhale, breath might feel warm. You might notice it flowing in and out of the nose. So we're going to approach our breath of fire now. So if it's still comfortable for you to just keep your hands softly on your belly, you can do so. I'm going to inhale deeply, and when you exhale, exhale sharply through the nose, like you're trying to blow out candles with your nose. Inhale, filling up, and exhale sharply. Inhale, filling all the way up to the throat. Exhale sharply. As you inhale, you feel the belly expanding. On the exhale, it's like a bellows is being squeezed. So keep going with these sharp exhales. When that bellow is squeezed, your diaphragm is pulling in and pushing the carbon dioxide out of your lungs. Going to start to pick up the pace now. So inhale, exhale sharp. Inhale, exhale sharp. Inhale, exhale sharp. Inhale, exhale sharp. Keep going with this rhythm. Now start to just think about those exhales. Listen to them coming out of your nose. Feel that diaphragm squeezing. So it's the solar plexus just in the middle of the very bottom of the rib cage, or just below the rib cage. Feel it flexing. It's like a train chugging down a track now. You can stay at this pace, or if it's more comfortable, if it feels okay, as that train approaches, maybe the pace gets a little quicker. Keep going like this. Feel the fire in your belly. Feel the energy flowing in your body. Continue at whatever pace you're at for a little longer now. Do 8 more breaths like this, count them out, and then return to your normal breathing. Take your hands to your knees when you have returned to your normal breath. When you're ready, blink the eyes open. We're going to take a little wrist warm up next before we come into our kind of planks and things today. So to begin with, interlace the fingers into a fist and start to draw circles with the knuckles so that you're just kind of waking up those wrist joints. Change the direction. It's almost like you're holding some dice that you're about to roll some lucky number 7s with. And come to stillness in the centre. Just hold that interlace in front of your face and inhale your elbows out to the side. Make a straight line with those wrists. Exhale, take the elbows back into touch. Make a right angle with the wrists. Inhale, take the elbows out. Exhale, take them in. Inhale, take them out. And we're going to make some waving motions. So lifting one wrist and then the other. Just waking up the mobility. Now this is really awkward to do, but change the direction again. So lead with the other wrist. Some people it feels really strange. We're trying to get that balance. Come back to centre. Take the palms and the fingers so they're touching. And spread the fingers away from each other. Keep the fingertips pressing into each other. Take the heel of the hand and the palms away. So almost like Mr. Burns in The Simpsons. Then press the palms back together. And then take them away. Send a bit of energy and a little bit of pressure through those fingertips this time. Take the palms back together. And one more time, take the palms away. Really press those fingers into each other now. And release the hands. Take right hand and point the palm up to the ceiling like you're going to hold a tray on it. With the other hand, just place your other hand over those fingers Gently now pull them down and away from the body. Might not come very far, just feel that stretch in the pads of the knuckles and also in the back of the wrist. When you're at your maximum, you can extend the arm out straight. You're going to feel that stretch right through the inner arm and the wrist. Bring it back in. Flip the hand like an Egyptian hieroglyph. And the same thing again. So this time as you pull the fingers down, you're going to feel the stretch in the top of the wrist. Extend the arm out. Might get a little click in the elbow. Bring it back in. Same on the other side. So left hand this time, balance that tea tray. Take right hand and pull the fingers down gently. Extend the arm out if you can. Bring it back in. Flip the hand, back of the hand points to the ceiling. Pull the fingertips under. Extend the arm. Bring that back in. Give those hands a little shake. We're going to come into our child's pose now. So swing yourself around so that you're on the mat. Big toes are touching, knees are out slightly wider than the mat. Walk the hands away from the body, bringing the chest and the forehead close to the earth. Now keep the knuckles and the fingertips really plugged into the mat, but lift the wrists and the forearms and the upper arms. Feel what this positioning of the hands is doing in the shoulders, under the elbows. So your elbows your arms are rotating inwards, your elbows are kind of shining in towards each other. Inhale, lift the head, and walk the hands back towards the body. We're going to come up onto our hands and knees into our cat-cow position. So stack the shoulders above the wrists. Spread those fingers, hands are shoulder width apart. Knees are directly below the hips. It's yogi's choice with the feet. You can tuck or leave them flat. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, look up. Exhale, round the back, draw the chin inwards, point the nose to the navel. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, look up. Exhale, curl around the spine. Really push the ground away now. Inhale, lift and flex. Exhale, round. Peel those shoulder blades apart. Inhale back to a neutral spine. Keeping the wrists and the knees exactly where they are. Just shift the shoulders forward slightly so that you can feel the weight coming into those hands. Just go as far as feels okay for you and your wrists. Now notice what's happening in the arms. Rather than locking them out completely, just take a tiny micro bend in the arms and squeeze the arm muscles so that they're supporting that shift in the weight. And come back to a neutral spine, shoulders back over the wrists. And take a fist with the right hand and push it into the ground. Feel that shoulder drawing away from the socket. Place right hand back on the mat and take that fist with left hand this time. Push those knuckles into the ground. And take a flat hand again. Tuck the toes under if you haven't already. And inhale, hover those knees 2 inches off of the mat. Exhale, step them back so that your legs are straight out behind you. Bend the knees deeply, send the bum up high into our first downward dog. You can pedal the legs here. Shake your tail from side to side. Just let those hamstrings gently open up. Inhale, come to a still posture now. So take a deep bend in the knees, send the belly to the very tops of the thighs, and exhale, send that bum up high, extending through the hamstrings, heels descending towards the earth. Inhale, look at those hands. Walk or jump your feet to meet them. And take a flat back here, halfway lift, come halfway up. You can keep a soft bend in the knees if you need to. Push into those shins on the mat. Exhale, fold all the way back down. Inhale, come up to standing, uncurling slowly. Really scoot those arms out wide. Feel the energy coming through your hands as you exhale, draw it in towards the heart. We're going to take a sun salutation now. We're going to do a few rounds of this and really work on our chaturanga while we're moving through the vinyasa. So inhale, reach the hands up overhead, palms touch, look up. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands to the shins or the mat. Inhale to that halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, hands come to the mat. Step the legs out behind you. Hands are shoulder width apart. Option here, which you are welcome to take, and it's worth being aware of it, is that we can take our half plank and we drop our knees to the mat. What we want to do is make sure those knees are slightly further back than the hips. Wherever you are today, inhale and push the ground away from you. Exhale, bend the elbows back, really pin the inner arms into the sides of the chest. Come all the way down onto the mat, and you can release down here this time. Take tops of the feet to the floor, belly reaches the mat. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest, look up for baby cobra. Exhale, head all the way back down. Tuck the toes and inhale back into that plank option, so you can push the ground away and keep the knees down in your half plank, or come all the way up into your full plank. Feel those knuckle bases really plugged into the mat. Check that little baby bend in those elbows. Draw the belly in towards the spine and zip up the glutes. Zip all the way up through the back of the body like a one straight line. Exhale, bend the knees, send that bum really high up into your downward dog. Plank is a great measurement to make sure you've got the right length in your downward dog. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, look at those hands, walk or jump towards them. Take your half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flow all the way up, really grabbing a hold of that air. Exhale the energy down into your heart. Gonna go again, so inhale, reach the hands up overhead, look up to the sky. Exhale, diving forward, hands come to the shins or the mat. Inhale to that half lift. Exhale, fold all the way down, step or jump the legs out behind you into that plank. Whichever option you take in this time, take an inhale here, gaze about 2 to 3 feet along the mat or ahead of the mat, on the ground in front of you. Draw the belly in as you exhale, lower down slowly. It's like the descent of a tricep push-up. Option this time to hover the body a few centimetres off of the ground and then push up into your cobra before you release the thighs down to the mat. Take a moment here. Inhale, look all the way up. And exhale, lower all the way down. Release the head to the mat. Release the whole weight of the body to the mat. Tuck the toes. Inhale, push the ground away. Back into your plank. And exhale, send the bum up high and back for downward facing dog. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, look at those hands, step or walk the feet to meet them. Take the half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, swooping all the way up to standing, palms touch overhead. Exhale that energy down into your belly. Last sun salutation here. Inhale, reach the palms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to shins or the mat. Inhale, take a long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, step or jump back into your plank pose. Inhale in this plank position. Exhale, lower down slowly. Feel centimetre by centimetre your inner upper arms meeting with the sides of your rib cage. Hover here, drawing that weight into the shoulder girdle. And inhale, maybe you can push all the way through, releasing nothing but the tops of the feet to the mat for your upward dog. Your pelvis is descending down towards the mat. You're looking up into the sky. Tuck the toes and exhale, send the bum back up into the sky for your downward facing dog. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk or step the feet towards the hands. Inhale to a nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, swooping up, palms touch. You can even clap overhead. And exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll flow straight into our goddess pose. So inhale, right arm up into the sky. And exhale, slide left hand down the side of the leg. Half moon pose, sorry, not goddess. Inhale, look past the bicep. And exhale, push, push, push those hips to the right. Keep that chest nice and open. Draw that belly in towards the spine. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release that hand. Inhale, other arm up into the sky. Exhale, send those hips over to the left this time. Gaze past that bicep. Inhale, feel the energy flowing through those fingers. Exhale, push, push, push those hips. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, release the hand. Take your hands to your small of your back. Slide your fingers as if they are pointing down into your jeans pockets. Inhale, shoulders back and down, elbows are reaching towards each other. Chin lifts up to the sky. Exhale, send those hips a little further forward. Go with care for a deeper back bend if that's in your practice today. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, firm up those legs, send those hips forward. Inhale, come up to a neutral spine. Exhale, release the hands down as you take a forward fold. Take a hold of opposite elbows and sway from side to side. Feel the weight shifting from one foot to the other. Feel the energy drawing up through all four corners of each foot. Come to stillness and see where your hands come to today. Maybe they come to your shins, your ankles. Perhaps you can take fingers around big toe or take a hold of the outer edges of the feet, squish them with your feet. Wherever you come to, inhale into that nice flat back and then exhale, bend the elbows out to the side, draw on whatever you're hanging on to so that you can pull crown of the head towards the mat. Lovely. Take a few steady breaths here. Give those hamstrings an opportunity to open up. Feel the weight shifting slightly more into those toes possibly. And then inhale, hands to hips. Slowly uncurl all the way up to standing. Head is last. I'm going to take some balancing postures now. We're going to use something as a support, like if you've got a wall that you can place a hand on, or a piece of furniture, kitchen worktop, sofa, whatever you've got to hand. As long as you can hear me and see me out of the corner of your eye, that should be plenty for today. So I'm going to use this wall. We're going to stand on our right leg first, so you need the support for your balance to be on your right hand side. You also need your strap to hand. So find your support, grab your strap, shift your weight into your right leg and place your strap underneath your left foot. Grab a hold of it with left hand. Square the hips so they're pointing in the same direction as your feet, so straight ahead. Inhale, float left foot off of the floor. See where it comes to. You might just momentarily grab the strap with both hands so you can get your hand in the right place on that strap for you. You want a nice bit of tension in that strap. We're going to hold here for a few breaths and see if there's any lengthening through that hamstring. It's okay if you're just a few centimetres off of the ground. It's also okay if you've got a little soft bend in your knee. Find that gaze point. Even though we've got a support today, it's good practice in our balancing poses to find that drishti. Inhale, raise it a little higher. Exhale, take it out to the left. Take that foot out to the left. Keep the leg as straight as you can. Really push that foot into the strap. Inhale, bring it back to center. Release the strap, throw it over to one side, point the toe, and really squeeze the thigh muscles. I'm going to hold here for 5, 4, draw it back into its socket, 3, 2, 1. Grab a hold of the ankle. Place that foot either on the inside of right thigh, or the next challenge is to actually just rest the outer edge of left foot on the very top of right thigh, almost on that right hip flexor. See if you can get it there today. If you can, take your hand away from your supporting wall or supporting furniture and replace that left hand with the right. So right hand is holding on to left ankle. Send left hand round the back and see if you can catch a hold of right arm. So our right arm has become a proxy for a strap. Work here. Find that gaze point. See how that knee feels. Maybe you can point it further down towards the ground. Inhale, release the hands. Exhale, release that leg. We're going to do the other side. So maybe you need to find another support. That is on your left hand side this time. I'm going to use my windowsill. So we're going to shift our weight into left leg. Strap is going to go around right foot. You're going to hang on to it with right hand, with your left hand on your support. Inhale, lift right foot up. See where it comes to. Take a moment to grab your balance and maybe readjust your strap. Feel it floating up into the sky. Flex that foot so the toes are really pointing up to the ceiling and you're really pushing into that strap. Try not to counterbalance the leg by shifting the weight of the torso back. Keep that torso like it's really, really straight. Inhale, find your gaze point. Exhale, take that foot out to the right. Hold it here. Feel the stretch on the inner thigh. Stay with it. Keep trying. Inhale it back to center. Exhale, release the strap. Throw it away. Point that toe. Inhale, squeeze the thigh, float that foot up higher, draw it back into its socket. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Grab a hold of that ankle. Place that foot on the inside of the thigh, or if your knee allows you, snuggle the outer edge of that foot onto the hip flexor of standing leg. Swap your hands this time, so left hand is going to hold on to right foot, right hand is going to go around the back and take hold of the top of the arm. Find that gaze point again. Grow tall. Feel that hip flexor opening. And we can release this standing half lotus pose. Move your strap to one side for now. We're going to take our wide-legged postures to really ground ourselves and power ourselves up. So we're going to begin in Warrior One, leading with our right foot. So take your right foot forward and your left foot back. Left foot will be at a 45-degree angle. Orientate yourself so you can still see me. Square the hips and the shoulders and the face. They're all on the same track as that front foot. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Spread the fingers out wide. Palms are facing each other. Feel like your arms are like a lightning rod and energy is just beaming down through them. Feel like your feet are rooting into the earth. Exhale, descend the groin, bend the front knee, glance down at that foot. Make sure you can still see the big toe of front foot. If this is feeling too strong in the back, or maybe in your back foot, you can allow that heel to peel off of the mat, if that helps you today. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend that knee a little deeper. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, release the hands down to the hips. Pick that back heel off of the floor now. We're going to lower that back knee to the ground as slowly as you can. Imagine you're trying to draw a really slow, steady line with a pen on the end of your nose. So you're coming down so slowly. Once that knee is on the mat, release the top of back foot to the mat as well. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest, push those hips forward just to open up that hip flexor a bit more. And exhale, come back to a neutral spine. Take left hand and place it on right thigh. Gaze over right shoulder for a little twist here. If this feels okay, there's an option here to take back foot, point the toes, lift it up and reach for it with your right hand. You might need to just lean back a bit just to catch a hold of it. I'm not picky about that. But once you've got a hold of it, sink those hips forwards again, really opening up that thigh and that hip flexor now. If you want to bring your balance back into it, turn the face back to that central position, shining in the same direction as front foot, and reach left arm up into the sky. Your thumb is pointing backwards behind you. Your fingers are spread. Feel the energy flowing down that hand, into the arm, into the chest. And release the foot, release the hand. Take both hands down onto the mat, frame that foot. We're going to take that foot and place it kind of in the centre of our mat or just behind left hand. We're coming into our pigeon pose, so allow that knee to come behind right wrist. Shuffle your back leg out behind you, heel toe out behind you, point the toe, release the foot. Inhale, open up the chest, look up. Exhale, walk the hands away from the body. See how that hip's feeling. Maybe it's just forearms that come to the mat. Or if you like a nice deep pigeon pose, Very welcome now to just take a moment, release the head to the mat, take a few rounds of breath, reconnect with that breathing, that natural, slow, steady breath. Inhale, lift the head, walk the hands back towards that leg. Plant them just directly below your shoulder. Tuck the back toe under. We're going to push the ground away and just create enough space so that we can step that front leg back to meet left leg. So we're back in our high plank position. Inhale, look forward, take a moment here. Exhale, drop the knees if you need to, bend those elbows back, we're lowering all the way down. Shoulders are hovering a few centimetres. Inhale into your cobra or your up dog, and exhale back into your downward dog. Take 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beats here. Inhale, look at those hands, walk or jump to meet them, take the half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, really scoop that air up over your head. Maybe hands clap. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do the other side. So it may be that you can just step right foot back this time, or you might need to flip around, reorientate yourself. Feet are 4.5 to 5 feet wide. 45-degree angle with the back foot. Square the hips, square the shoulders. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms face each other, fingers spread, chin is level. Exhale, bend the front knees, sink the groin down. You might need to wiggle that back foot back to keep a nice right angle in front leg. Make sure you can still see big toe. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Feel like a ferocious warrior in this pose, beckoning down all that energy, firing up the body like a battery. Inhale deeply, exhale, descend. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release the hands to the hips. We're going to take that slow descent down into our lunge. So if you haven't already, peel that back heel off of the mat. Maybe turn that hip slightly forward. And on an exhale, slowly lower back knee towards the earth. How slowly can you go? Make contact with the earth. Release back foot, top of the foot to the mat. Take right hand and place it on front thigh. Turn the head and gaze over left shoulder. Exhale, sink those hips a little further forward. Stay here. If this is feeling strong enough in your hip flexor, it's a nice low lunge. We got there the right way. Option, if you like a challenging practice, is to shuffle that back knee in if you need to. Lift the back foot, catch a hold of it with left hand this time. Do what you need to grab it, but exhale, sink those hips a little deeper. Nice opening in the chest. Option to balance, if your balance is good today, is to take right arm up into the sky. Even if your balance isn't good today, it's always worth a try. Ground that front foot in. That might help with the balance a bit better. Yeah, there it is. Release the foot. Release the hands. Frame that foot. We're going to take our pigeon. So heel toe that foot into the right hand side of the mat, maybe back a bit. Left knee comes to right wrist. Heel toe the extended leg out behind you. Release the top of the foot to the mat. Inhale, take a little back bend here, open up that chest. Before you exhale, drape the body over that bent leg. Come to wherever feels right for you. Feel that deep stretch in your hip. Take a moment here to settle your breathing again. Round off any edges that have spiked up during that practice so far. And then inhale, walk the hands. This time we're going to come into a seated position with our legs out in front of us. So just roll over, take a seat on your bum, extend the legs out in front of you. And actually at this point, this is a really good point to just grab your strap and make sure it's handy for just a few moments time. So extend the legs out in front of you. Take you want to take your right foot and place it on the inside of the left leg. We're going to begin with a nice Janusasana. So inhale, really turn the chest so it's pointing towards that extended foot. Foot is flexed. Inhale, reach the hands up overhead. And exhale, fold forward. Doesn't matter if your hands just come to maybe the shin, perhaps the ankle. Most important thing is nice long spine hinging at the hips. With every exhale, allow that back to open up. You can have a little baby bend in the knee, but keep that quadricep really squeezing. Inhale, come all the way back up. Walk the hands back towards the body. Now place right hand on that right ankle. Really glue that foot to the inside of your leg. We're going to roll over onto the outer edge of left leg, and we're going to take our forearm to the mat or the ground that's pointing straight out in front of us. So you're in this kind of reclining position, so the forearm is resting on the mat or the ground. The bottom foot is flexed like a knife edge driving into the mat. Now we've got an option here to either push up into our forearm side plank, or if that feels a bit strong for us today, we can actually bend the bottom leg and use the shin as a kickstand. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, gaze forward, and exhale, send those hips up into the sky. Keep that foot glued into the inner thigh. If you've taken that kickstand option and you think you've got a little more to give, you can take the hips back down, extend the leg, push the side of the foot into the ground, inhale, gaze forward, exhale, send those hips back up into the sky. Just as we did with our chaturanga, really feel that weight shifting over the shoulder, over the elbow. Strong work in the shoulder girdle. Exhale, release that hip down to the mat. Inhale, come up to center. We're going to do the other side. So I need to flip around. Take a hold of left foot this time, place it on the inside of right thigh. Get those sit bones really grounding down into the mat. Shift the chest so it's pointing at that foot. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at that hip. Take a hold of whatever you need to maintain that nice straight back. Grow long from the base of the spine, through the shoulders, through the neck, through the crown of the head. On every exhale, sinking and softening down over that leg. Inhale, walk the hands back towards that foot. Glue left foot to that inner thigh. Roll over onto the outer edge of right leg. Option as before is to bend right leg and then we'll use the shin as a kickstand. Or we can keep the leg extended for a slightly more challenge. So another way to describe this forearm, shoulder is coming over elbow and hand is pointing perpendicular to the mat. Really ground those knuckles as we did before, ground those elbows into the mat. Inhale, gaze ahead. Exhale, push those hips up into the sky. Really feel those hips pushing, that chest opening and that weight shifting over that shoulder. Beautiful, guys. Really strong work in the shoulder girdle. If that foot is firmly glued, you can take the hand to the sky this time. Now we're getting a hold of the technique. Feel the energy, feel that lightning rod. Release the hand back down to the hip. Release the hips back down to the mat. And come back onto your seated position. So we're coming into our peak pose now. So take those feet back out in front of you. Keep left leg extended and pick right foot up, place it on the outside of left knee. We're going to inhale and reach left arm up into the sky and exhale, take left elbow to the outside of right knee, gaze over right shoulder. So we're in half Lord of the Fishes, quite a familiar seated twist. I just check everyone's got the twist. Beautiful. Inhale, really grow tall. Take that back hand as close to the bum as you can. Maybe even piano the fingers into the mat to get that length through the spine. Twisting from the abdomen. Hollow out the belly. Inhale, come back to centre. And as we did in our balancing pose, we're going to try and take the outer edge of our right foot and snuggle it in to that little hip crease of our extended leg. See what your knee allows you to do today. If this feels like it's strong work, then just keep, as we did before, your right hand on the ankle. If you feel that you've got a little more flexibility in the chest and the back and the shoulders, take a hold of your strap and place it on that right foot. And like we did in that pose where we caught hold of our forearm, you're going to take right hand, send it round the back and grab hold of that strap. So everybody should have their right hand either hanging onto their right ankle or going round the back and hanging onto a strap that's round right foot. Just like before, we're going to roll onto the outer edge of that left leg. And rather than forearm this time, we're going to plant our wrists and our knuckles right into the mat, directly below our shoulder. Option again to kickstand and just try it out on our shin. Inhale, gaze forward, so bend that back leg beneath you. Inhale, gaze forward, and exhale, send those hips up to the sky. Open the chest, look up to the ceiling, check in with that knee. How does this all feel? How does it feel with the weight over that wrist? Claw those fingers into the mat. Beautiful. If this is easy enough for you, you can take the hips back down, knife edge that foot into the mat, and go for the full side plank. This is called Kasyapasana. pose dedicated to Kasya. See if you can spin that chest open a little more. And exhale, release. We're going to do the other side. So this time, you're going to take the twist with the left leg stepped on the outside of that right leg. So left foot on the outside of right knee. Inhale, right arm up into the sky. Exhale, take right arm to the bent knee. Free hand is just pushing into the ground close to the bum as you gaze over left shoulder. Keep that extended leg flexed at the foot and grow really tall in this pose. Feel the hands spreading, fingertips are like little lightning rods themselves. Feel the energy flowing through the palm. Slow, steady breathing as we recharge our batteries before we take that Kasyapasana pose. Inhale, come back to center. As we did before, pick up that bent leg and snuggle that foot as high as you can into that hip crease. Option again to just hang on to it. So you'll be holding on to left ankle with left hand. Or you can place the strap around that foot. Send left arm around the back and grab a hold of the strap. So you're going to have a strap around your left foot and your hand's going to be hanging onto that strap. Your left hand is going to be resting on the small of your back and hanging onto that strap. Like we did before, I think everybody's going for the whole shebang. So plant that right hand down into the mat. Shoulder's going to come over as we roll over onto the outer edge of our bottom leg. Drive that outer edge of the foot into the ground like a knife edge. Gaze forward, really visualize your body weight shifting over that wrist as you claw the fingertips into the mat. Exhale, send those hips up into the sky. Once you've got the balance, this is a balance pose. See if you can change the gaze point and open up the chest. And exhale, release everything back down to the mat. Take soles of the feet to touch. Knees come out wide. Rest backs of the hands on those feet. Allow the spine to curl. Tuck the chin in. Feel the fingertips gently curling in towards the palms. Steady the breath here. Quieten the mind here. Absorb those postures, new and old. Inhale, uncurl. Come all the way back up. Take the hands either side of the body. Cross the knees at the shins. Cross the legs at the shins. Plant the hands in front of you, shoulder width apart. Bring your weight into your knees, over those hands, and jump or step the feet back into your plank. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bend those elbows back and lower, lower, lower. Hover. Inhale. Exhale, push the ground away. Remember, you've got that option to take the knees down. Inhale at the top of this plank. Hold. Exhale, lower, lower, lower. Hover. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, push the ground away. Inhale at the top of this plank. And for the very last time today, exhale, lower, lower. Really squeeze the inside of those arms into the rib cage. Hover and release everything down onto the mat. Flop down onto the mat. Let those shoulders roll away from each other. Let those feet roll away from each other. If it feels good, you can just kick the feet here a couple of times. Just bending at the knee And just flick any of that stale energy that you've loosened up with this practice out of your feet. Feel the air flowing as you flap those feet behind you. And then roll over onto your back. Option if your back's feeling niggly today, as we come into our final pose, Savasana. If your back's tricky, you can take soles of the feet to the mat, bend the knees, and just rest the knees on each other. Otherwise, legs are fully on the mat, feet are flopping out to the side, backs of the hands resting on the ground, fingers gently curling in towards the palms. Just take a few moments here to rest in Savasana. Absorb your practice, quieten the mind. If thoughts drift in, try not to get into a conversation with them. Let them drift away just as easily. This is your time now. Very gently now, bring some movement into your hands and feet. It might be nice to just circle the hands and wake up those wrists again. Point and flex the feet. And when it feels good for you to do so, big inhale, big full body stretch, arms reach overhead, push through those feet. Exhale, roll over onto your right hand side into the recovery position. Make a pillow with the hands or the arms. Keep your eyes closed. Take a moment here. Take a moment. And very slowly, there's no hurry now, bring yourself up to that seated position. Eyes still gently closed. Before we finish off today, just take a moment to really appreciate how you controlled your energy in this class, how you use those standing postures to really power up for those strong arm balances. You can control this power in your everyday life. Inhale your hands to heart center. Tuck the chin. Blink the eyes open. Namaste, everybody.